wrist grab releases. You can practice with yourself, working on defense from grabbing the wrist, grabbing both wrists, and even grabbing the arms. First, grab the outside of your wrist and escape through the space between the thumb and the finger. That space there, that's the gate. You turn your bone. This is like a wedge if you angle the bone towards that space. Here the bone is not towards that space. I turn my arm so the bone, that wedge, is in that space, and I escape through that space. And I do that by not pulling out, because that's not very strong. You're only as strong as your bicep muscle doing that. Rather than pulling out through that space, you push your elbow. Push your elbow forward. Rather than pulling, I push the elbow forward. So I rotate that bone, so it becomes like a wedge. I rotate that bone until it faces that space, that gate. That's the gate. I push my elbow to push the wedge through that space. Now, when there isn't a space there because the hand is bigger, there's no space there, there's no gap, I simply turn that wedge, that bone, to the tip of the thumb. So to the place where that space would be. So I turn the bone to the space with the tip of the thumb, push through using the elbows. If you pull, they can grab and pull back even stronger, and you're only using this muscle here. You push your elbow forward, and you can use your entire body weight to help you push that elbow forward. Starting first with grabbing the outside of the wrist. Turn this top bone down and around until it approaches the tip of the thumb. Push through the tip of the thumb by bending your elbow. Grab the top or outside of your wrist. Turn this bone down and around, and then push out using the elbow. Grabbing the outside of the wrist, rotate till that bone is on the tip of the thumb, push the elbow, not pull, push the elbow to release. So try that a few times where you have to rotate the arm to get that wedge bone in the right place, tip of the thumb, push the elbow to release through. Rotate, push the elbow. Other side. Rotate the thumb down to get that wedge to the tip of the thumb. Push the elbow to release. Grabbing the outside, rotate to get to the tip of the thumb, push the elbow. Other side again. Now you can also use the other wedge, the other bone, in particular in this case because it's closer to the tip of the thumb already. So now using the other wedge, the other bone, instead of rotating the thumb all the way down, rotating that bone all the way down, this bone is closer to the tip of the thumb, so simply rotate that bone to the tip of the thumb. But now the action is different. Rather than pushing the elbow forward to release, I now have to extend the tips of the fingers down to have the movement, the action go through the tip of the thumb. Still using your elbow, but now instead of pushing this way, you're extending. pointing the tips of the fingers and extending the elbow. So in this case, grabbing the outside of the wrist, I rotate the bottom wedge to the tip of the thumb and point the fingers and extend the elbow. I rotate this bone to the tip of the thumb, extend the fingers forward and down. Other side, using the bottom edge, rotate the tip of the thumb, extend through the fingertips, extend the elbow. Rotate, extend. Rotate, extend. That's grabbing the outside of the wrist, grabbing the inside of the wrist. Again, rotating that bone until it gets to the tip of the thumb, push out. So same dynamics. You get one of those bones to the tip of the thumb, use the elbow to push through. Rotate to the tip of the thumb, push the elbow. Grabbing the other side, inside the wrist. I'm going to get this bone, starting with this one, to the tip of the thumb. Push the elbow to push that wedge through. Rotate, push the elbow. Rotate, push the elbow. Grabbing inside the wrist. Rotate to the tip of the thumb, bend the elbow. Other side again, inside the wrist. And we'll use the other wedge now. Rotate to that gap, extend through the fingertips, extend the elbow. So grabbing the inside of the wrist, so the fingers are on the outside of the wrist. That space there, I rotate either edge, either wedge. Now we're working on this bottom one, so I rotate that and I extend out through that space. If there's no space there, again, I simply use the tip of the thumb as the guide for where that place is. Grab the inside of the wrist, rotate so that bottom bone is right at the tip of the thumb, extend through the fingertips, extend the elbow. Other side, inside the wrist, using the bottom wedge, rotate, extend. Rotate, get the placement, extend through. Rotate, get the placement, extend through. So rotating either this bone or this bone to the tip of the thumb, whichever is easier to get to, and extend through either by pushing the elbow or extending through the fingertips, lengthening the elbow through that space or through the tip of the thumb. Another methodology for wrist grab releases are doing a spiral action, and you don't have to pay attention to where the thumb is. You just do a strong, clear spiral motion either way. So again, if we grab the outside of the wrist, I'm simply going to do a spiral motion. First, we'll start by coming inside towards your body. So grabbed on the outside of the wrist. Not going to worry about where the thumb tip is or that space. I'm simply going to do my own motion, my own spiral using the elbow and the fingertips. You're always able to move your elbow. That gives you the power and freedom to do what you need to do to have your movement. Even if you're grabbed at the elbows, you're always able to move your elbow. That's the freedom you always have. So right now at the wrist, outside the wrist, using the fingertips, roll the fingertips in and up, over and down. There's no way that you can hold on to your wrist. There's no way that someone else can hold on to your wrist if you use the leverage of your elbows and your whole body. Outside the wrist grab, rotating in the fingertips, up with the fingertips, over and down. Try to hold on. Hold on as hard as you can, and see how easy it is to escape out of that hold. Coming in with the fingertips, up, over, point the fingertips down. Grabbing the other wrist on the outside, coming inside with the fingertips, up and down. In, up, down. Hold on strong. Extend through the fingertips, up, over, and down. Explore the freedom of your elbows. Roll your elbow, extend through your fingertips. Grabbing the inside of the wrist. Coming in, up, and down. In, up, and down. Doesn't matter where they're grabbing at all. Grabbing inside the wrist, rotating in, up, and down, just like we did with the outside wrist grab. Extending through the fingertips, rotating the elbows. Inside the wrist grab, other side. Grabbing the outside of the wrist once again. Now we'll explore the other spiral, the other direction. Going to the outside, up, then down the inside. Going out, up, down the middle. Out, up, down the inside. Hold on strong. Send your power out through your fingertips. Bend your elbow. You cannot hold on. Other side, out, up, and down. Out, up, and down. Grabbing the inside of the wrist. Out, up, and down. Out, up, down, inside. Other wrist, inside wrist grab. Put your power, extend your power out through your fingertips. Bend your elbow, up, down the inside. Freedom of the elbow. Spirals from the elbow out through the fingertips. This can be done with any grab. It can be done with a person grabbing both wrists. Spiral out, up, and down, out, up, and down, or from the inside, in, up, and out. Double wrist grab, spiral fingertips in, up, out, down the outside, or the other way. Using the freedom of the elbows, extending through your fingertips. If you're grabbed at the forearms, same action, spiraling up and in. Other side, up, down the inside. And try to hold on. You slide right through that grip. outside, down, inside, and out. Up the inside, down the outside. Other side, up the inside, down the outside. Other way. Grabbing at the elbows. Up, down the middle. Up, down the middle. Other elbow, up, down the middle. Up the inside, down the outside. Inside, outside. Up the middle with the fingertips, down, right to the floor with the fingertips. Inside, up and down. Grabbing upper arm. Up the outside, down the inside. The fingertips lead the way. The elbows make it possible. Rotating the elbows, leading with the fingertips. Takes no effort, no strength. It's just all leverage and coordinated movement. Up the inside, down the outside. Up with the fingertips, extend the elbow, rolling the elbows, sending the power out through the fingertips. Other side. Explore your freedom.